What is up, guys? Welcome to the Transparency. Got the new mic going. Do me a favor, and at some point, you're going to either like this or you're going to hate it. It's your choice. Thumbs it up, thumbs it down. Make yourself known. We have a good one.
Folks, I know there's a history here. I'd like to get this hearing in today. You know, everybody needs to just focus on the relevant facts, okay? I know there's a history here.
Are you talking up by Sunset Mart? Up the hill by the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you... All right, who's responsible here?
What's that?
Who's responsible here? Whose house is this?
Yeah, haven't been drinking or anything, right?
No.
Okay, drive careful, okay?
Thank you.
This is with the other group that ran away.
Oh, really?
You just ditched it?
Awesome.
Yeah, those ones kept walking in the car.
It's truly for the win.
So there was 2 different discs, okay? They all knew about it.
We're not here to talk about the alcohol stuff, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But this is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know why we're here?
I see noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party. Once neighbors start calling in, then we have an issue.
Like brains, and like if you need a lot of brains, you're gonna be in trouble.
Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Tonight's live broadcast features one of the very best cold case investigators. Welcome to Truth and Transparency. We have a new case. I want to look into it for numerous reasons, but it's very interesting to me that in 2015, what is up, guys? Let's do this. Again, what is up? Thank you, moderators, for being here, making sure it is kosher in the chat. All you members and mods, subscribers, you guys are always dope with it. Just remember to keep being dope with it. You know, I had to take an extra couple minutes to make sure this mic was sounding okay. So I got the matted black because I don't discriminate. So what is up? I don't know what you guys are here for. You guys want to hang out tonight? Talk about some true crime? Oh, shit. I'm supposed to have on that chick. I guess she's like, I don't know, the world's best. I thought it was like IGG, but cold case investigator. I don't know shit about her. But Cindy Lou Who, I got her to hook me up. So, I mean, let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. Can you hear me, Ms. Vargas?
I can. Can you hear me?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I can hear you and see you. How does it sound? Does it sound okay?
I'm here. I'm in the flesh.
Jeez. Well, welcome to Truth and Transparency. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
I mean, it's an open invitation.
Had I known you existed, I would have come sooner, but I just found out you were talking about me recently.
Can we talk about this so that like we could get the whole like truth and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can talk about very many things. As you know, I am under a gag order. And
Absolutely.
so there are things that I just cannot discuss. But there's so many more fascinating things than just the Idaho case that I am involved in. So I'm sure we'll have plenty of content.
Oh, content. I love it. I always say context.
Context.
No, it's content. I always fuck it up. So thank you for getting that right. I think it plays over and over on somebody's feed. Like, oh my God, Leanna said context and it's supposed to be content. And it's like, yep, sure did. Point.
I say, however you like to say it, say it.
Ah, yes. So, okay. First of all, congratulations on your career. I know it's like short. You just started not too long ago, but hands down, congratulations. And I mean, I'm excited to hear about some stuff because I kind of said I don't want to know. That way I can feel like the rest of everybody else that's going to be watching, hearing about some, I believe you've done your first ever exoneration coming up.
I am currently working on an exoneration case, a very fascinating one.
Okay.
So
well,
I'm
looking forward to hearing
about that.
Right.
And then, as you know, the Roxanne Wood case, that was such an adrenaline rush. I barely slept for 4 days. But lots of other cases that I've done that have not even been announced yet. So those are coming up hopefully soon.
Well, we can hear some of them, but we don't have to talk about names. So something like that, whatever you're allowed to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I want to say that I totally stalked you. So I just want to get that out. Like, you know, everybody, I totally stalked this woman, you know, totally stalked her.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or I should feel threatened.
Well, if you're YouTube, you should feel threatened. No, I saw you on Cindy's show, which, by the way, that's by far like the most real. If you want to like know you and hear about stuff that you know how you got to where you are right now, I think she did a fabulous job. I had her on last. What was that? Actually, I think this is the beginning of this week.
I watched that. That was my second show of yours that I watched.
Oh, sweet. Second?
Well, I
got this shit on speed dial.
Well, now I do.
Favorite playlist?
The first one, it was kind of ironic. I was on Facebook and, you know, they suggest groups. Do you want to be in this group? And it was a group, I believe it's called the Idaho Murders. And the picture that it was showing was me. And I got kind of a bit freaked out. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, why? Like, I'm not in this group. Why is my face there? And it wasn't like the testimony picture. So it was totally different pictures. So I was all confused. So I clicked on it, and it was a different interview that I had done for a news station for a different case. So I just started going through, just looking at content, and I saw my face again. And this time it was your show. And so of course I was intrigued, and I went and watched it. And I've gotten a lot of mixed responses for deciding to, do what I did in Idaho. And so I have not been on social media too much, and trying not to see the things that people say, because even though I know they're not true or they're being misguided through the media, I still it affects you,
Yeah.
and you were like, she is a badass, and I'm like, okay, I like this chick.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So then when I saw you had Cindy on, I'm like, okay, she went digging. Yeah.
Well, I told you, straight psycho over here.
Well, I'll tell you the funny thing. When I was watching it, and Cindy's like, I think I found her on Instagram. No, Cindy, she found me on TikTok. And this is the funny thing, is that I have a TikTok account, but only for the purpose of like laughing and watching funny, stupid videos. I hadn't posted anything. I had no friends on there, no followers. And I get a message from her, and I'm like, this has to be like a joke, right?
She's totally stalking you.
But I would say that was my favorite interview that I've done. First of all, Cindy is absolutely amazing. She is the definition of badass.
She don't give a fuck.
Oh no. It's so funny because when, that's kind of her mentality. And when we were doing her show, I have a sign that says 0 fucks given. That's like kind of, my motto. And so our vibe just was in sync. And I really liked that she wanted to know about me, like who's the person behind this, because I had done so many interviews with the cases I've solved just on the case itself. But I never had the opportunity to kind of, go into like who I was. Nobody really cared about that before. So,
well, shit, everybody cares now, man.
Well, we'll see.
You got a lot. I mean, you got a lot of love out there. Well, I was thankful that you were, that you went on and did an interview with Cindy. I did see like the 48 hours. I mean, I'm more of like a mom and pop joint place. Like I'm going to like serve local, like eat local, hang local. So I felt like Cindy is like your local, you know what I mean? So I resonated and meshed well with and saw you. I was like, damn, from where she was, everything that you had gone through to where you are. And then the biggest thing I saw, I don't even know if you know this, the day that you were on Cindy's show, because I hit like the button to say like, what was the date of this? There was only like 18 views. I'm like, what the I thought I was getting punked, first of all. And then I clicked it, and when you can click it and it drops down. And I said, wait a second, December 29th. I was like, this is the day that Brian Koberger was arrested. I was like, this girl's talking about this other case, and she has no idea, fast forward, that she's actually going to be on the stand, in Idaho on the case on the same day that, he was arrested.
I will also say that, I mean, yes, I heard about the case. Who didn't, right? It was all over the news. And so I knew that it had happened, but I never followed it. I think I heard that the arrest was made because, again, it was big time in the news. But I don't have the details that you have on the case. And my goal in testifying was really to describe a process in which we use to make these identifications in all cases that we work, and some issues that there are in this process. So other than that, my testimony was not that case specific because I do not have any information on it.
That's perfect. See, that's where I was like, okay, I need to talk to this woman because if Ann Taylor wants to have you, like, fuck, you know what I mean? You got such a high profile case. You just don't go and talk to anybody and want them to come on. So I know there's things that you can't talk about with anything to do with that case. And I respect that. But I was like, yeah, but what if I was to spit in a tube and send it to this woman? Can she, like, what can she do with that? Can we, like, dummy something up?
So let's just say we're moving on from the Kohlberger case, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
That we're talking hypotheticals now. If you were to spit in a tube and send it to me, I can have created an entire genetic profile of you and use the databases to ultimately identify who you are without me, one, knowing your identity, and two, also, you don't have to have your parents or your siblings or your grandparents, not even your aunts, uncles, or first cousins or nieces or nephews to test. I can still find out your identity based on other relatives that you have in the databases.
Okay.
And that's pretty fascinating because if you think of in terms, let me just give you kind of an ideal, like, scale. So parent child, if they were to both test, they match at about 3,500 centimorgans, and centimorgans is the unit of measurement of shared DNA. So it's around, it can be a little more, it can be a little less, but just think of a parent and a child. The highest relationship you can get is about 3,500.
Okay, that's the highest.
Yeah, and again, it could be 3,600, but in that range of 3,500.
Okay.
The only possible relationship is either you've tested yourself against yourself, right? You're comparing yourself to yourself, you're going to get that number. Or if a parent and child test, and they will get a number in that range. So some of these cases that we work, the highest match we have is like 70 centimorgans.
70?
70. So at 70 centimorgans, you're looking at beyond a third cousin. Now there's a small percentage that it could be something closer, but you see how far back the tree needs to be built in order for us to make these connections with these matches.
Okay. So, like, I want to treat this as, like, if I was to explain this to my, like, 7-8-year-old kid, and I was like, hey, Jax, we're going to do an experiment. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I said with my viewers, I said, if I was to say one of my viewers sent me their DNA, I was to call you up and be like, hey, if I can pick what viewer this is, I have 41,000, subscribers. Okay.
Yeah.
If I can pick the right one, I win $1 million. Okay. And so I'm like, I want to go to the best person. So I'm like, hey, will you help me do this and I'll split the mill with you. Mm-hmm. So you get half, I get half. And so I get this, this DNA, and I would obviously, do I just send it to you? Like, do I have to
No.
like drive it to you?
Nope. The DNA. Well, first of all, if we were gonna do that, I would cut the middleman out. I don't need you. I could just do it myself and keep all the money.
Wait, you're just gonna take all the money off of my my game with my viewership?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Gabby's gonna have her own like her own
you're
charity.
your only functionality in that is to pick the viewer. Well, I can pick your viewer and I could do the work, right?
Well, it was more like I wanted the process of like I had to send this to you.
Okay. So no, you
Okay.
would not. Okay, so we're talking about two different things. Let's talk about law enforcement. It's a different process than if we're talking about a direct to consumer, like a regular consumer like yourself. Okay. So if you're going to do it, then you would send it to Ancestry, 23andMe, any of the databases that have testing
Like
available.
how much spit are we talking about? Like let me just show you an example.
Please don't spit. I'll gauge it for you. Please don't spit.
Okay. Can you just like show
Okay,
me
so
how much
I
we're
will
talking?
tell you, I've taken 23andMe and I've taken Ancestry. I think they were about the same. So the tube, I want to say, is about 4 inches, maybe. And
4 inches of spit.
well, no, the tube.
Oh,
the tube
okay,
that
okay.
you have to spit in is about 4 inches, approximately. You need to fill up 3/4 of that.
So I gotta
And
basically like come with like
there's parameters. Okay?
Okay.
You are not supposed to drink if like anything, like water, not just alcohol, but like water. You're not supposed to drink water within 30 minutes of spitting. You're not supposed to smoke. You're not supposed to eat. You're not supposed to do anything that can compromise the how how do I say potent your spit is going to be, right?
You're like sperm.
Your sperm. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do other things in that 30 minutes because then you would end up with a mixed sample.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, you send that back after you spit.
So 3/4 of the 4 inches.
Yes.
I just keep going.
Yeah, and it's not easy. It's not easy. So I actually have a thyroid condition. And at the time that I took my test, I was going through, I recently was diagnosed with medullary thyroid cancer. My medication that I've been taking for years makes my mouth very dry. And sometimes I'll be talking, you'll see I have to drink because I just become very dry mouth.
Like when you were testifying, I saw you had to drink a couple times.
Yeah, and that's why. And so can you imagine me spitting and it's like I'm to the point where there's nothing else coming out. What do I do? But I made it. It worked.
You got through it.
I did.
So you got to do some hockey's in there, right?
No, because I don't know. I don't think you would want a loogie in there like that.
You gotta like spit. You can't just
well,
like go
you know what the best thing to do is kind of like
I've never done it.
Like prepare your mouth, like kind of like this
like
is
lollipops.
Terrible. Like I don't even know how to explain this.
Okay.
Just kind of how your mouth can. It's not necessarily spit. Like your mouth can get. God, goodness, you've got me here.
I'm just so it's you have to do a little something. You can't just like lick an envelope and be like, here you go, get it off of me like an envelope.
Not for ancestry purposes. You need to fill up their little tube. And I'm not sure. I think there's one of the databases where if you're unable to spit that much, which is usually for like the elderly, if they try and they just can't spit, you could do a mouth swab. But I'm not confident with that, if that is correct. I've just heard it through the grapevine. So anyways, it's got an activation code on the tube as well as on the box.
So I would like type in like online here. I'd be like, www. whatever, 23andMe, or you said Ancestry.
Yeah.
It would pop up. I would say, I want to buy a kit.
Oh, I just go to Amazon.
Oh, Amazon, perfect.
Yeah, because then
Okay,
I get it tomorrow, and it's
Okay.
Prime, so I don't have to pay shipping or none of that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I go to Amazon, I get the kit. It comes in a box, and it's like sealed with the activation code that almost looks like a serial number on the box.
Okay.
And again, it's in the box, and then it's on the tube.
Okay.
Okay. So what you want to do, the first thing before you even decide to spit, is what I did was create your account.
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah.
So go to Ancestry. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. Create your account and put in that activation code associated with
So
you.
because they're going to associate that number to you.
Yes, but here's the thing. Ancestry does not know that that's your DNA. They only know that it's your DNA because you activated that kit with that name.
With like that purchase.
So if you, let's say you were to buy a kit, you know, an Ancestry kit, but you had your friend spit in it, but you registered the kit under your name, it's going to come up that it's your DNA, but the matches are really going to be hers because it's her DNA.
Okay. So, perfect. So let's say that,
so that let me just say, so that in that scenario, you're ordering a kit, you're spitting in it, you're signing yourself up, you're getting your results. And I usually, let's say you find out, oh Lord, my dad's not my dad, or I'm adopted and I want to find my parents. Then you would come to me and I can help you find your biological parents. Or if you never knew your grandpa or whatever, I can help you with that. Now, law enforcement kits are much different. Okay. So with law enforcement kits, we have to think we have two separate methods of obtaining the DNA essentially and going on to sequencing. So let's say we have, and forgive me if I forget any, it's Friday night. So semen, blood, semen. Yes.
Oh, semen. Okay.
Not men in the sea, but semen.
Yes.
Semen.
Sperm.
Sperm. There we go.
Sperm.
Saliva.
Okay. Saliva. Blood.
Tissue. So these items of DNA usually, so for example, let's say,
okay, can you do that with touch DNA? Like if I was like, here, let's say I had somebody grab something at my house and I was like,
it's a different process.
Totally different.
It can be, okay. Yes, it can be done. But listen, first of all, the touch DNA, how do we say, becomes not as potent as time goes on, right? It kind of degrades.
Ooh,
okay.
I didn't know that.
But here's the problem with touch DNA. Okay. If I have a case where I have a bloody t-shirt, let's just say, okay, it is not, I can have the lab do it, but usually the state crime lab will extract the blood from the shirt and put it in a little tube, and they will send that tube to a third-party lab that I use. But the evidence or the DNA or the tube or anything never gets sent to me. And there's a crucial reason why, is because we need to maintain chain of custody. So if the police send me the DNA, what's to say that I don't decide to wash the tube out and bleed in it, and now it's my DNA, right? Not that I would do that, but just as an example, we have to make sure that it's the same DNA that came from the crime scene. So it has to maintain chain of custody.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there something that you have to do specifically? Like, do they like to maintain that? Like, how do you maintain custody or chain of it?
To maintain chain of custody, I don't fucking touch it. It doesn't come to me. It doesn't get sent to me. What happens is that I coordinate with the lab.
Okay. So like you would have some type of communication?
So the law enforcement process is an agency, medical examiner, or a detective will reach out to me and say, hey, I have a case for you. I want you to take on. And I say, okay, what is the DNA? If they say it's blood, semen, saliva, tissue, what I tell them is, okay, let me get in touch with the lab. The lab will create, like a shipping label, whatnot, and we'll send it to the detective himself. And then the detective sends the DNA in the tube directly to the lab. Now, if it's bone or teeth, let's say it's a doe case, Jane John or baby doe case, they need to extract the DNA, and not all state crime labs are capable of doing that. So we have a different third-party lab that we use to do the extraction. So the same process, but this time the detective would send whatever the lab feels is the best of what is available, what is the best to extract from. Okay. So sometimes a tooth, depending on which tooth, depending on if dental work was done or not, is better to get DNA from than a bone, right?
Okay.
Regardless, the lab does the extraction. They send the remaining remains, so anything left from the bone or the tooth or anything, back to the detective, right?
Okay.
So it's gone from the detective to the lab and back to him. Then the lab will send whatever they extracted to the other lab we have that does the sequencing. So I coordinate everything, but I never have physical possession of any of that.
Okay. And when you say you coordinate it, like you'd be like, hey, Jim's going to be sending you this, and then Jim's going to be sending you that, so that way that they know, hey, when you get something FedEx to me, I know like, oh, that's what Gabriella was talking about, that I was going to be getting this sample. Or is it like a zip file? Is it like actual?
No. It's actual
whatever it is.
It's kind of like creating an order, right? Mm-hmm. So I create this order in the system,
like an invoice,
or with the person. Well, kind of, but it's more of
like a work order,
like a purchase order. Like,
yeah, okay,
I'm going to be submitting this, or detective so-and-so is going to be submitting this on behalf of my company, right? And so then that lab will email me a shipping label. So so they know, okay, this is coming in, number one, this is associated with DNA ID, which is my company. And then the detective, I'll email it to him and he'll put it on the evidence and send it, so they know that it belongs to this case that we're working on. So, but there's also, look, I'm not a lab person. Mm-hmm. So there are things that I don't know. I don't know what is better, which tooth is better if we have all the teeth. Number one. I also don't know. I know now, but I didn't know before that, they say the molars are better, but they're not better if they have fillings, right? So these are certain things that I will correspond with the lab to say, hey, here's what we have. What would you like us to send?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you get all that. They do it all. You don't touch it. And then when you said sequencing, what's sequencing?
So it's essentially like the same thing that happens when you spit in the tube, right?
Okay.
It creates it
like a bunch of your different little
genetic profile of
Okay.
your entire genome.
Okay.
So it's very specific to you. So it's not possible if you send in your sample and I don't know who you are, it can only be like it's only attributed to you, right?
Okay.
Unless you have a twin and then it gets complicated.
Well, let's just say I don't have a twin because I don't.
Yeah, let's not go there.
So, like, okay, so then you finally get this, like, whatever you work with. So, what do you get?
So what I
When
get
when it's your turn to do stuff, what do you get?
So my turn to do stuff is from taking on the case, right? It's shepherding it through the process. But my work part actually starts when the DNA has been sequenced, the genetic profile's been created, it's put into a data file.
How long does it usually take?
So that depends. Do we have to get an extraction, right? If we have to get an extraction, we have to send it to one lab and then that lab sends it to another lab. You could
touch DNA if you have to do touch DNA. If I have a problem with spitting and I was like, here's my, I don't know, my napkin. Can you get touch DNA?
Well, yes, but see, the thing is with touch DNA, which a lot of people don't think about, is in my opinion, it's not, I mean, it's foolproof, but here's the thing. If I go to Target I went to Michael's and I just bought this pillow. Okay. Isn't it cute? I love it. Okay. I bought this pillow. Well, I wanted to see, like, is it fluffy?
Yeah.
Is it hard? Is it going to be nice on my head?
Okay.
I've got touch DNA all over that. But you know what? The last 15 people that picked it up in the store and did the same thing also have touch DNA on it.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So if I were to go to a store and purchase something that, you know, is on the shelf, who knows how many other people have touched that? Okay. If you come over to my house and you sit on my pillow and you touch my pillow, your DNA is now on my pillow, but that doesn't mean that you were the perpetrator.
Yeah. So I'm more or less asking about, like, are you able to do your job off of touch DNA?
Yes. It's yes.
Does it take longer? Is it like,
it's not, it's honestly, it all depends on which lab I'm using and what their status is with, you know, how backed up. During COVID, it was extremely slow because they had so much COVID. They don't just do cases for us. They're forensic labs. They have so many other responsibilities. But in addition to that, are we talking about a cold case or are we talking about a recent case? Because a recent case can be done way quicker than a cold case. Okay. So, I mean, we can talk about 1 to 2 weeks versus 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. So let's say that it's a more recent case. So it's something that, like, hey, this is like priority. So, okay. And if you have to get it extracted, would you have to extract touch DNA?
It's a different process, but not in the same way that you would do bone. So it wouldn't be it wouldn't take as long. But if you think about it in a case, let's just say a case happens today. Okay. What happens first is they send the DNA, the crime lab takes the DNA, right? And the crime lab does their own STR testing for CODIS purposes. Is this person in CODIS? Okay.
And so when you take that to test that, when they put it in CODIS, can you ever get that DNA back to use to send it to you then? Or is that once it's in CODIS, you can't get that back? Is it done?
They only use a small amount to test out of all of the DNA that's available, right? So if they extract a whole tube of it,
I'm saying if all we have is touch DNA, let's say like I came over to your house.
Very specific. You're getting on a rocky mountain here.
Okay, so let's go with regular. So let's say that pillow
in a current case, okay? In a current case, the case happens today.
Okay.
It's going to go to the state or crime lab, or if the city has a crime lab, and they're going to do STR profile just to put it in CODIS and see, is the killer or whoever, the doe, are they in CODIS? Okay. Do they have a criminal record? Usually they wait for that response before proceeding on to something like investigative genetic genealogy. Okay. Because there's no point, it costs money. The labs cost money, and there's no point in getting to that, paying for that if you're going to get if you're going to
get a hit.
Exactly. So now we're waiting time there. Let's say it says no, there's no hit. Now we're going to send it off to a lab. Let's say we take a week for the lab process. Okay.
Okay.
Well, then the genealogy starts. It's not like I put this data file in and it spits out a name that says, oh, here, Joe Schmo is your guy. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Then I have a list of matches. Now, let's just say, how long can this process take? The quickest I have solved the case is in 2 minutes. While I was on the phone with the detective to tell him the DNA came back, I solved it. Why? Because his mother tested.
His mother tested.
His mother was a match. Okay. And she was in the database. So
you saw somebody that had like a shit ton of these. Oh God, there's a person that has 3,500. Is that what it would tell you? Like, oh my God, who's this 3,500?
Well, I would know right away because my person is the unknown person, right?
Yeah. But like, I'm just trying to like break it down. Like,
so I would know based on those numbers, I would know this is either my person's parent or my person's child.
What about sibling?
Nope. Too high of a number.
So like, let me ask you this. You would just have like a bunch of numbers that spit out like 3,500, 20, 2,000, 1,500, and then like 80, 60, 90, like all like that, like just in like a Excel, like kind of just like, here you go.
Well, in the database itself, yes. And so what it gives you is it gives you the person's name or the alias they're using, their kit number.
Okay.
You could do cross comparisons. Their email, how much you match them at, so on and so forth. And so I don't know which side of the family tree that they, is it my person's mom's side, dad's side? I don't know any of that initially.
Okay. So like, let's say that you do all that and we have all these matches. And let's just say there's 500, just easy number. Is that a lot or a little?
500 centimorgans or 500?
No, 500 matches.
Oh, that's
nothing, right?
That's like nothing. I have in Ancestry alone, because part of my own heritage is endogamous. I have like, I don't know, like the different databases, like some of them I have like 20,000 matches.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like, other ones I have like 7,500. There's so many matches.
When I say the word, if I say like, hey, check this out. If I was like doing this and like I went to school and did this or whatever, and I was like, oh my God, so I have 500 only. You take 250 of them, I take 250 of them, and let's just like go and see who these people are and see like.
You don't waste your time doing that.
Oh shit. So what do you do?
All I care about are the matches that are higher value.
Okay.
Those are the matches that are giving me the answer quicker.
Do you guys have like a code that you could just be like, anything under 2,000, I don't even want you. So kick you at,
Wouldn't that be nice?
Someone needs to come up with that.
I will tell you this. On your own DNA and ancestry, yeah, you may get a ton of matches that are over 500 centimorgans. But in the work that I do, I'm lucky if I get a match or, any match that's like 100 centimorgans. So most of my cases are working with third cousin and beyond.
Okay. So, and now let's say that how long would it have to until it gets in the system? Like, let's say that I just go and test. How long do you think it takes for me to for you to actually see my match, or for you to see me in the system? Like if I,
so once you upload to GEDmatch, it's about 48 hours for it to fully process. However,
I have to get my zip file back though, and that's what I upload.
You would, as a consumer, you would download your zip file from Ancestry and upload it to GEDmatch. Okay. And that would take about 48 hours. However, if it's a law enforcement, it takes the same amount of time, but we already have the file from the lab. But family tree DNA is different. Family tree DNA usually takes 5 to 7 days before you get your matches back. So when you talk about how long does it take? Well, how long did it take for them to find out whether or not they were in CODIS? How long then add that to the time that it took current case to run through the sequencing? Now we have another 48 hours to upload through this database, and then the real work begins. If this person has a grandparent, a sister, a cousin that's close, some kind of relative that I could solve this in an hour, game over. But if this is, the longest case I ever worked was 14 months. Okay. It all depends on what the matches are.
Exactly. It would depend on
that, but what so it's weird to say this, but in my experience, only to the public here, Ancestry gets more people testing that are Caucasian. Okay.
The white people.
The white folk.
Meanwhile, I'm just blasting Tupac, a half hour ago. For
you and me both.
For the record. I want the record to be known.
Well, if you want the record to be known, I actually have Tupac's song running. I have the lyrics tattooed on my thigh.
See, there you guys go. Something you didn't know yesterday, you know now.
So it depends on, okay.
Like you may have solved your case, like you said, the quickest one ever. Like you said, like 2 minutes or something like that. But there was time that had to happen in between you being given that to even do that. So it's not really like 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes plus however long it took to go CODIS sequencing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So even though I found the suspect in 2 minutes for that case, and that's incredibly rare. So don't think that that's a timeline that we should expect these cases to be solved in. But let's for example, Roxanne Wood.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? The Roxanne Wood case, shout out to Detective John Moore. He is Michigan State Police. He is amazing. I love this guy. It was such a pleasure to work with him. And the funniest thing was so many people had turned this case down, or two other entities that do the work that I do turn this case down. And I was working for a company that was like, oh, we'll take it on. We can do it. Well, it took 9 months to go through the lab process because it was such a small amount of DNA. Okay. It kept breaking the machine. So by the time it got out of the lab process, now we're not me, I wasn't involved yet, but they're questioning whether or not the data is good. Are these is this good?
Yeah, is this legit?
Yeah, because it was so hard to go through the process. So the company that I was consulting for, the owner plus 2 of her top genealogists all agreed that the data was bad. But here's the problem. They used up all the DNA.
So that's all you had.
This was their last chance.
Wow.
And there was no coming back from it. There was nothing else. And so when she called me, she really called me just to vent. And I felt like the people that she turned to weren't really skilled in degraded DNA. And I felt I was.
You said degraded
DNA. So, I mean, this was a case from the 80s, right? So I offered to look at it for her. That was it. So 9 months in the lab, and then it was
in the lab for 9 months.
9 months in the lab. When it came out of the lab, it was another like 2 or 3 months of analyzing just what the heck are we looking at here on GenMatch? What does this mean? Is this good? Is this bad? Now, I wasn't involved in any of that.
But
I didn't come in until she literally the next day was going to go to the detective and tell him, oh, we have a visitor. This is my boy, Kylo.
Oh, there you go.
And here, this is Peaches. I'm babysitting her.
Oh, Peaches and Kylo.
And this one, this is my grand pup, Chewbacca. They all, and I don't know if you hear talking in the background. That's my African gray. We have a fucking crazy farm over here.
This is you over there.
So anyways, when by the time I got the case, yes, it took me 4 days to identify the suspect. But I barely slept. I was so inspired by the family. I was so motivated. And the detective, again, John Moore, was just, I mean, he killed it. It was like I was calling, he was in Michigan, I'm in California, and I'm calling at 1 a.m. and he's answering the phone. It was just such great teamwork.
That's awesome.
Ultimately, it was a long process. Well, the funny thing is a lot of people, if you saw the 48 hours, it says, I'm a tattooed, pink-haired mom from California. And some people are like, who cares? Like, why do you need to say that? And I'm like, it's important, because when we went into this meeting with the detective and the prosecutor and the head lieutenant, like all these like official people, the person who I was consulting with is like brilliant. She's like a rocket scientist. She's the older woman and very professional, wearing a suit to the meeting. And I come in like this, pink hair, tattoos. And I'm like, just chilling. And the detective's mouth literally hit the floor. And so later,
like, I got to work with her.
Well, later I asked him, I said, hey, what were you thinking when you were seriously like stunned, like what's going on? And he said to me, well, I was thinking, you mean to tell me this, tattooed, pink-haired freak from California is going to solve it when this lady with a PhD who's a rocket scientist can't solve it?
Right.
So it played a role in why I said that, because they doubted me. They doubted me because of, and you can't see because I don't, I don't want to get naked.
Gabby, this is a PG show.
I know. I don't want to get, I've got mosquito bites everywhere, but you can see like I am, you
got some tats.
I'm tatted up. I've got them everywhere. And so, they didn't have faith in me. They didn't have faith in me because of the way that I looked. And, it was, I think, also a big eye opener to them, because
they judged the book by its cover versus like,
they sure in the hell did.
That's awesome.
And then they screwed up and got the wrong cigarettes. So I'm sure at that point they were like, see, we told you, we told you she wasn't going to be able to do it. And
you're like, no, you need to go get
and then
yourself
well, no, I will take accountability. If I screwed up, I will take accountability. And I knew I had never gotten a case wrong. And so I just was hesitant to believe it, but it's possible. Look, I'm human. And so I basically said, let me redo the case. But I didn't have access to the files anymore because I was no longer with that company. And so I did it off my memory. And after like day 5, I called John and I go, John, I'm sorry, but my research is solid. You guys screwed up. And so they went to go
because when you're saying that they screwed up, it was that whatever so you gave them a name, right? And so they went to go get that person's DNA, and then they got his DNA, and when they ran it, it didn't match, right?
Yep. It didn't match to the killer's DNA.
And then and then you're like, no, you must have gotten the wrong DNA.
Well, either your lab screwed up or they picked up the wrong cigarette, or I don't know what could have happened, but it sure in the fuck wasn't anything I did. Right?
I love it. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about my work.
I was confident, but I wasn't overconfident. So I still redid everything out of my memory, and I came to the same conclusion. And they ended up getting another cigarette. And a couple weeks later, I get the call that, okay, yeah, you were right. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking knew I was right. Like, sorry.
That's how I feel about the Sheldon Jeter Jr. case. I'm like, yeah, no. I said, go look at that 911 call. Go do this. Go do that. I said, no. I said, I will
tell you, the best part, it's getting so hot in here. The best part of my, oh, that looks fucking lovely. The best part,
I love it,
was what I got after the show.
Okay.
So I don't know what you guys know, but I'm just going to tell you, you don't get paid for this show. I didn't even get my airfare paid, my hotel, nothing. I paid for everything myself. Oh shit. What is going on? Where did you come from?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You were saying?
Surprise, ladies.
What, you wanted to have a threesome?
Yeah. I'm seeing double, sleeping triple.
I love it. I love it.
Go ahead, as you were saying.
Talking about Roxanne's case, and I was going to say, the best thing that came from it was the people that reached out, and I got more cases as a result. Yes. But so many families reached out saying, hey, can you help me? The detectives won't talk to me. These cases, my friend's been gone for 5 years and nobody will tell me what's going on. And so I had the ability to then call these detectives or call other detectives I knew to kind of prompt them. And as a result of that, 3 cases got solved that they had been waiting. One had been waiting for, I want to say 38 years. And then the other one was about 7 years. And it was just from nudging the detectives, right? I didn't do the genealogy. I had nothing to do with it. I was just simply an advocate for the family of the victim. Another case that I also got, which is near and dear to me now, because every single message that I've gotten, I have responded to. Nobody has gone responded to. I even, to the woman, shout out to, I think her name was Shannon Jones, who just wanted to know what color my hair was. She said she went to the hairdresser and paid $200 to get the color of like mine was, and she didn't get it. And so she said, I know you're not going to respond, but I just want to know what color is your hair? And so I legit responded, and I said, okay, first thing, you're going to fire that bitch because she doesn't know what she's doing. And then I'm like, second, you're going to go get all these products. And I like listed, sent her pictures. And I'm like, you're going to do this, that, gave her all the steps. And I said, the only thing that I want in return is I want you to send me a picture of what it looks like in the end.
Did she?
She fucking did. And I'm like,
was it good?
Oh, it was exactly what she wanted.
Oh, see that, ladies? Okay, if you would like to have Gabby do your hair, we're going to bring you out, fly you out airfare if you can get this next question right. Oh, okay. You can go spend a lunch date with Gabby.
I know.
Do your hair.
Come, we could do hair. And
you know what I loved? I got to tell you, Gabby, one of the things that I loved after I saw your interview, before I interviewed you, was the fact that you're tatted and pink hair. I can't talk. I didn't even drink. It's just coffee. Tatted and pink hair. And I got to tell you, that was like, to me, so real. I love different. I love unique. I love authentic. And that's what you are. You're real. You're authentic. Lana, you're real. You're authentic. This is like great combo right here. This is, I love this screen. I'm looking
at the trifecta.
Right? Amazing ladies.
I will say, if you look at the people in this field, I mean, I don't even call myself a investigative genetic genealogist, first of all, because
I got yelled at for that, by the way.
I can't even pronounce it half the time. And second of all, the response is always, so what is that? Or what do you do? And I don't have time. Like, I don't have fucking time. I just told you what I did. I don't have time to explain to you how I do it. So I actually call myself a cold case investigator, because that's what I'm fucking doing. I'm investigating cold cases. Now, my background is in criminology. And so I am not a genealogist. I did not care one bit about genealogy. I think it's freaking boring. I'm all about
hire Gabby.
I'm all about the investigation. And
there
so
you go.
So let me tell you, there is this case I want to tell you about. It's very near and dear to me.
Is this the exoneration one?
It is the exoneration.
Yes, this is what I wanted to hear. Okay, good.
You know what though? I'm out of my drink. Do we get a break?
Yeah, it's break time. Go ahead.
It's
like
break time. 2 seconds so I can refill my drink.
It's break time. Give the ladies a break, God bless Atlanta. You're a slave driver over here, man.
Where's my drink? I gotta get a drink. I'm drinking coffee. What is this?
Oh, I love it with that coffee, girl. Here, I'll have a little twisted tea for you. How are you, Cindy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I was trying to pick out like the right time to like have her pop out. I mean, you pop out of the cake, but I couldn't find the cake.
And you caught me drinking my coffee.
I know, and I felt bad. I was like, oh, should I even tell her I was bringing her?
That's right. I was ready.
Good. Well, I'm so glad that, I was like, hey, surprise Gabby and come on the show. And guess what she does? She texts our three-way text and says, oh my God, okay, what time should I come on? I'm like, damn it. I hope she didn't see that. Did you see me start trying to blow up the feed? I was like trying to blow it up that way. Like, if you like look at your phone or whatever, you're just like, you don't see it all the way up there. I was like, oh my God, just start texting something. So I kind of blow the feed up.
I mean, you know what? It's fucking Friday night. I'm sorry, ladies.
There you go. See,
I went from water to Truly.
Oh, Truly!
This is not a paid
sponsorship. That's on my where was it? Like right here. They talk about Truly's for the win. This is every time I think about it now.
You know what? Truly's. It's not. It's for the wussies, really.
Wussies.
But let me just tell you, I'm a mom, so I can't be drinking scotch on the rocks all day. I
don't even think guys with a lot of hair can do
that. Okay, so let me tell you about this case.
Okay, yes.
So, like I said, I never ever not responded to someone, no matter what it was. Even if I couldn't help them, I gave them whatever advice I could. And that was one thing that was important to me, because I know of others in the field that they just don't have the time. And what I interpret that to be is that you're not important enough for me to respond to you. Okay. Well, there was the gentleman named Kevin who ironically, and this is funny, if you watch 48 Hours, you would see I'm also a custom woodworker. I think I have some of my pieces right behind us, my desk over there. So I'm a custom woodworker, and I have a Facebook page just to kind of display my stuff. In 48 Hours, they showed that I was a woodworker, but never revealed the name of my company, which happens to be Perfectly Imperfect. Imperfect, or is it imperfect? Imperfect Designs. Anyways, I'm not drunk yet.
I was like, she just got a drink.
I know. I'm like, now I'm slurring. Okay. So, anyways, this guy named Kevin reaches out on my woodworking Facebook Messenger to ask me if I would be interested in talking about a case. And I'm like, first of all, absolutely. I will absolutely, get in contact with you, because I want to know, how in the fuck did you put two and two together and figure out that I was the person who, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't mention my business name anywhere. So that still to this day creeps
He
me
stalked
out.
you.
That was like, well, here's the thing. My business name on Facebook doesn't have my name. It doesn't say Gabriella Vargas.
Even better.
And my interview didn't have my business name. So this guy was like fucking legit, like Inspector Gadget. Okay. So he contacts me, he wants to talk. And basically he tells me a story that, his wife, sister, is in a relationship with a gentleman who is in prison in Iowa. And, she was a nurse for the prison, and he's an inmate, and he didn't do it. And so the first thing I said in my head, because I didn't want to be disrespectful, was my favorite movie.
Oh God, we're gonna show more tabs.
Well, no, I was gonna say,
do you want to see mine?
Oh wait, hold on. Is that? Oh, there we go. This one here says, "Get busy living or get busy dying." Shawshank Redemption is my absolute favorite movie. So when this guy Kevin is telling me
until
about
our documentary comes out, right?
Huh?
Until our documentary comes out.
Well, that's gonna have
it's gonna be totally better.
That's gonna be inappropriate.
I'm not even gonna get Netflix to sign us after that. Oh shit. Go ahead. So sorry.
So he's telling me, my sister-in-law, she's dating this guy and yada yada. And so in my head, I'm thinking Shawshank, I'm thinking, didn't you know everybody's innocent, right? And I'm kind of like, or is he innocent because he's really innocent, or is he innocent because your sister-in-law is having a relationship with him and you want him to be innocent, right? Mm-hmm. So I wasn't interested in getting involved. Then he told me that the Innocence Project was involved in the case and has been for the last 5 years. And he told them about me and they want to talk to me. So then I'm like, I'm here. Where are you? Let's do this.
Let's come on, Innocent.
Exoneration cases is something that, like, genealogy, not up my alley. Okay. Exoneration. Fuck yeah. I want to
exonerate a motherfucker.
I want to be the one to find out, like, did you really do it? Right. Mm-hmm. Because
if you did it, I'm going to tell the world too.
We're supposed to trust in our justice system, but how many people even recently have we seen that are being let go? They're exonerated for crimes that they
DNA has been a big part of that,
Yes. And I can do the DNA. Mm-hmm. So hi, pick me, right?
I did. I came right to you.
So I was like, I'm in. I don't care what it takes. Okay. So the guy's name is, I spoke to him. He gave me permission. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the case. Okay.
Yes.
So the guy's name is Joe Cannon. and he was in Iowa, and in 1993, he's a black male, and he was a crack addict, and he was not, even middle class. He was quite poor. He had a drug addiction, and he stole to support his habit, but he wasn't a violent criminal. Okay. So a few days before the incident I'll tell you about, there was a robbery at a Wendy's restaurant, and Joe went to go steal the hamburgers. He was part of this, and he was in it with 2 other people. One other person turned out to be the informant, and then a third person, I am confident, is actually the real suspect in the homicide. There was a shoe print that was left on a manila envelope in the office. Well, only one guy went in the direction of the office, right? So fast forward, I think it was 4 days, and a gentleman, an elderly white gentleman, was beaten in his apartment.
Okay.
And he was taken to the hospital and died, I want to say at least a week, maybe a week and a half after he was beaten. Joe was a known burglar. He robbed people. This guy they suspected was robbed. And so much like when cases of, relatives, they blame the spouse, they focus only on the spouse's significant other or whatnot. If it's a child, they focus on the parents. I believe they got blindsided and they only focused on Joe. Okay. Well, Joe that night had an alibi. He was out buying crack, right? And
he was out buying crack. That's his alibi, right?
He was out buying crack. And the people that testified against him, 2 people, which were relatives of his at the time wife, okay, they were both facing charges themselves. Okay. So they made a deal with.
I was gonna say they got some.
Okay. So he was essentially convicted based off their testimony, which they both got deals, and a pair of tennis shoes that were found. Well, here's the deal with the tennis shoes. It was found on a piece of plexiglass from the back window that they believe was kicked in. But the tennis shoe print matched the tennis shoe print from the Wendy's robbery.
Ooh.
On the manila envelope, right?
Okay.
So they suspected Joe did the robbery, so they suspected he was the murderer as well. They didn't even think of anyone else. Well, guess who their informant was? Well, the informant was the guy who I believe actually did the murder. So the Innocence Project was able to get the DNA retested recently. And it came back.
How long has he been in prison again?
He's been in prison for 30 years. This was a crime in his early 20s, and now he's in his 50s, right?
That's so crazy.
He has his girlfriend and her, brother-in-law and her sister are a huge, tremendous support. And he's become like family to me. I mean, he calls me from prison every day. And
you have a collect call from
Joe Cannon. If you like the blah, 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 you
have one more minute.
You know what I always tell him, because E40 is like one of my favorites. I always tell him I'm waiting for the time where it says you have a collect call from, hey, it's your partner, man. In that song, One Love.
Yeah.
That's what I always laugh at him, and I'm like, I guess they're pre-recorded, so he can't ever say that, which disappoints me. But if anyone out there wants to call me from prison, just when they say, please say your name, say, hey, it's your partner, man.
Just give it. Yeah, there you go. Now,
I
does
promise.
he have any chance? Like, let's say that you weren't able to help him. Is he up for parole? Does he have any, or is
No.
he lifer?
No, he is life without parole.
Okay.
Here's the thing. The Innocence Project gets the DNA back and they say the DNA cannot prove whether he did it or not. So there's nothing more we can do. So we're going to bow out after 5 years of getting his hopes up. So, well, if they can't do anything, what the fuck am I going to do? Right? Like, I'm out too.
Investigate.
The DNA, well, that's the thing. The DNA is based off of, you know, what I can do with the genealogy. And if they're throwing the DNA and saying we can't do anything, then there's no room for me in this case. So Joe says, as well as his family is saying, we still want you to stay on the case. And I'm like, or what? Like, what can I do for you? Like, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not, you know, what do you want me to do?
I'm not a lawyer.
Well,
You could advocate. You could investigate.
my bird just
Oh,
laughed.
wait. You are a pink tatted lady.
Yeah.
Well,
See, listen to Cindy.
You are.
So I said to him, this is what I said to him. I said, look, I will be willing to stay on and kind of lead the case because now we got to find an attorney. We got to explain it all, the case, everything. I said, I will be willing to stay on, but here's my only kind of demand is you don't get to tell me what the fuck to do. and that
I already get that enough.
because I kept hearing him like tell the Innocence Project, like, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna, like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fucking do this, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so
Like, hey, I'm just helping, man.
right, for free, mind you.
Yeah.
For free. I offered to do this case pro bono. So I'm not getting paid for this. Okay.
Mhm.
So I end up deciding to stay on, and he sends me the DNA report. Okay. I look at the DNA report, and I won't mention the lab, but I look at the DNA report, and there's like 6 pieces of evidence that they tested against Joe and against the victim, okay, to see if it's either of their DNA. Every single piece of DNA that came off the evidence, it says Joe Cannon can be 100% excluded as the contributor to this DNA profile.
Wow.
So the first thing I thought was, what the fuck was the Innocence Project looking at when they said it couldn't include nor exclude him?
So, wow. Because it totally excluded him.
Except for on one piece of DNA. It said it could not, this is funny. It could not exclude him on one piece of DNA, but there was no Y DNA on that profile.
So that means
if there's no Y DNA, then it can't be a man. It has to be a woman.
So then, yeah, he's out.
So he's out. So why would they drop the case? So I still never got a concrete answer why. But what I did do is then I'm like more fascinated, and I like a good challenge.
Maybe
so
there was a mistake.
Huh?
Maybe there was a mistake. You know, like.
Well, there were 110.
I'm all like, see, like, I'm over
mistakes.
here. I'm like, hey, maybe.
Well, what ended up happening is we spoke, and I said, I'm not a lawyer. I Google certified myself as a lawyer that day. Okay. I'm like, I am officially
Google.
Can I become a Google lawyer?
California on this Iowa case. And
oh, that's right. You can actually just go and take the bar and become a lawyer if you could pass it in California.
Yeah. But why do that when I could just train together, Google shit and get certified that way? So he ended up having the Innocence Project send all of his documentation to my house, right? As well as the electronic file of his case. So before I got any paperwork, I started digging into this case, right? I had one conversation with his baby mama, who's not the ex-wife whose family testified against
What's
it.
her name?
Harissa.
Harissa, you know we're saying what's up, girl.
It's not funny.
What is up, Harissa, girl? Get over here.
Harissa, girl. Teresa liked me.
Oh, wait, you said Teresa?
Teresa.
Oh, I thought you said Harissa.
No, Teresa. Okay. Talked to her and she gave me some information. Let me just break it down quickly what happened. This is now, I have no DNA, which is what I work with, okay? So there's no genealogy, there's no DNA, there's no, shut the fuck up, Loki.
Maybe we got you.
There is nothing for me to do in terms of what I normally do. Loki, that's my African gray, and he came from a firehouse.
First, I
And
thought you said
so
that's my African.
he likes to think he's the fire alarm.
It's actually an inside joke of my channel. Dude, I have vaulted ceilings and I could not get to my smoke detector. I was taking bats at that thing. I had to call some guy to come over here. He couldn't even get up there. Literally, you could hear in the back when I'm doing lives, and everyone's like, Lana, change your smoke detector. I'm like, come on over. So
You know, I've done that also.
there.
I've done that.
I
also.
wish
I don't
mine
even hear it.
was, because
And other people will hear it.
yeah, I could take the batteries out, but he is
Battery out of your dog?
no, I said if it was a smoke detector, I'd just take the damn batteries out.
I couldn't reach it. It was the ceiling's like, I don't know, 30 feet. I play basketball. in
Hear
here.
It's hysterical.
He's such an asshole.
I'm gonna teach her. Is it a parrot?
Yeah, it's an African gray.
Oh, so I could teach the parrot to say, Lana is awesome, right?
You can.
Lana is.
I will tell you something. It's probably in the garage in a bin.
African grays are so smart.
They're doing a campfire. They're the most intelligent bird. Mine he was dropped off at a fire station, and so he sounds like a dispatcher, and he has conversations with himself that just crack me up because he's a gossiper. He's like, what did he say? Oh, she said that. No, she didn't. Did she tell you that? What else did she say? And he just goes on, and I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to exactly? Okay, anyways, back to Joe, and then I'll finish up with this.
Can I tell you a funny story
Yes.
about that talks? I just got to tell you real quick because it's really funny. I'm a realtor, and I just showed a house.
You're a realtor?
Yeah.
Oh, God, okay.
20 years I've been a realtor, and I show a house, and it's supposed to be vacant, right? And we walk in, empty, people were out. And we walk in, and I'm talking to my client, and all of a sudden we get up the top of the stairs, and I hear, hello, as I turn around the corner, and I screamed.
Were they naked?
The bird was talking to me.
Are they naked? She's talking porn, and she's talking exotic parrot. Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? I thought somebody was there. Sounded just like a person and kept saying hello because I was cracking up.
It was a bird.
Everywhere I turned, hello.
And what was your response?
My response?
Were you just like, what is that?
So I screamed because I thought nobody was in there. It startled me. I literally, and as I left, I said goodbye. He goes, bye.
Yeah, that happens to me like almost every other night when I go walk to the bathroom and he's just having a conversation.
Love it.
And
I just had to share that little bird story.
He's laughing at me. He thinks it's hilarious.
Well, I thought we were going to be talking about, you were coming home to your house and some people didn't know that you were there and they just were having like a fun night, Friday night. That's where I thought that was going.
No, I'm not that interesting.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of all the years that you'd be like a realtor, like, oh, God, yeah, we didn't know the real estate lady was coming over. We were just, having some fun.
No, I've walked in on that too. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah. Oh, I could tell you great stories. I should read a book on that.
This is not for my viewing.
Well, I mean,
all right. Let me finish Joe here. I feel like I'm neglecting him.
No, don't neglect. We want to bring him home.
Anyways, I didn't get I just saw that. Let's have date night every Friday night. Fuck yes. Yes. I am down. I'm so down.
You guys just spit in tubes, bring them out. We're going to see if we can just find out who these people are.
Yeah. No, I'm
Whoever
down.
can find the spit person faster. Like
maybe we can do a demonstration how to spit.
Yeah, how to spit, how to send your tube.
You know,
how to
works.
Pop your.
We can spit this week. Wait. Can I just say?
Yeah.
You're fucking killing me.
Do you swallow?
Wait, what did you say?
Do you spit or do you swallow?
Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you this.
Your parents not gonna be happy with you. You guys, this is Crime Con.
You guys spitting date night, and then it could be a swallowing date night.
Crime Con.
I plead the fifth.
Please the fifth.
I plead the fifth. You're killing me.
Pleading the fifth over here.
Okay, back to Joe. Back to Joe.
Come on.
Okay, Joe.
Is Joe allowed to have conjugals? It's a great question.
I don't know. You guys are gonna have to go on a walk with me so I can.
Is he single?
Maybe you need to just feed your bird. Feed your bird some DNA.
He's mad because I have here. Let me show you. Oh, you can say hello. You want to say hello?
Oh yeah. What's the parrot's name? Bird.
You hear him?
Hello.
You hear him? He's talking to you guys.
Oh God, look at.
Listen.
Hi. Lana is great. Goat. Lana goat. Oh.
Like, yeah, she is. Oh,
Lana,
yeah.
Lana goat.
Oh, yeah.
Lana goat. And
Taylor. Did you hear him? Did you hear him just crack up? Oh my gosh, he's killing me tonight. Okay, so Joe, this is every night in my house, just so you know. I think the kids are actually out in the pool and they're doing a campfire.
A cannibal.
Probably. So anyways, I didn't have any DNA to work with, and I didn't have the case files yet. And I talked to Teresa, the baby mama, and she gave me a lot of good information. And so I looked into everything that she said, and I was pretty confident that I already believed that Joe didn't do this crime, but I was pretty confident that I kind of knew who did do it. And again, no genealogy involved. This is just the detective work, right? Mm-hmm. Then I get the case files, and it's like 3 massive boxes that are just full of 30 years worth of paper. And so I start going through it, and I find somebody who basically admits in front of a correctional officer that he knows firsthand that Joe didn't do this, because the guy who actually did it told him what the motive was. So I go and stalk this guy. Like, all I had was a name, like a guy. This is his name. 30 years ago, he lived in Iowa. He could be in Timbuktu by now. I don't even know. But I found the guy, and I reached out, and it's so funny because I reached out, and I'm like, I was at actually Joe's fiance's house at the time. They invited me to come to Arkansas. Shout out to the Arkansas people, but I just can't do it. And why are their houses so far apart? That is, but I will say this.
They're beautiful.
They have Walmart everything.
Who does?
Arkansas.
Arkansas loves Walmart?
No, they're like, that's the capital of Walmart. Like, Walmart has its own capital. It's Arkansas. And so does the Tyson chicken guy. No shit.
Arkansas, what Tennessee couldn't? Isn't that like Arkansas?
I don't know about that. But I'm going to tell you, they had Walmart freaking everything. And Tyson.
No, I don't think I've ever been.
It was crazy. But anyways, so I went there, and I'm at her house, and I'm texting this guy on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, hey, you don't know me, but blah, blah, blah. And he responds, and he's like, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, who are you with, the cops? I don't talk to the cops. And I'm like, no, I'm not with the cops. Like, I'm trying to help Joe and da-da. So he's like, okay, call me.
Do you see my hair? I'm not with the cops.
I'm like, no, I'm not with the cops. So he's like, okay, well, call me. So I call him and he's like, I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're looking for me to help with the case, testify, give you information, rat anyone out, I ain't the one. And I'm like,
oh, but you are.
Oh, but you will be. So just hold on. Let me just tell you, I end up getting confirmation from him that this statement is really true that I found in the paperwork.
Yes, in the case you found it.
Never contacted regarding this confession of who the real killer was. I then went a step further to the courthouse online and got the motive, the so-called motive. I got proof of the motive. I kid you not, I am 99.9% sure that I have this case solved and who the real killer was. But we're having problems with attorneys because so he's expected to get a settlement, rightfully so, upon his release.
Mm-hmm.
And lawyers cost money. Even though I'm Google certified, I'm not certified in Iowa. So my degree, my certification doesn't count. And
so we need somebody in Iowa.
We need somebody in Iowa who.
You hear that, motherfuckers? You listen.
Here's the catch. They don't even have to be good. They could barely have passed. Okay.
Ellen Jackson, come on, baby. Hit me
I
up.
already have the entire case, the timeline, all the motions that need to be filed. I have everything already done. I did all the work.
We just need your license.
No, because I can't go to court and be like,
no, we have to figure out the license. We need them.
Google certified. Yeah, right. But we need an attorney that will take the exoneration case on pro bono.
Yeah.
Then we will guarantee them.
Who's the prosecutor? Who prosecuted him? Because there's also another way.
That was 30 fucking. You think I'm
okay? Well, there's also another way. I have an idea. We have to sit down with the prosecutor.
My idea.
We have to sit with the prosecutor. The prosecutor could also just let them out.
No, because you know how much prosecutorial misconduct I found in the freaking files.
Maybe a new DA's running and they're going to want to push for it because they want to get, I don't know, elected.
No, it's a humiliation for them.
Well, not if somebody wants to get elected at DA.
Really? Can you turn your battery off?
I'm just saying maybe there's an option. I mean, if you swallowed, this would not be a problem.
Oh my God.
And this is crop one.
Stop spitting.
I told you. All this spitting is leading to
no more DNA evidence. Swallow.
No. Here's I need you to spit because if you don't spit, I can't work my cases. I'm
everyone starts spitting.
I depend on your spit.
All right, deal.
So we need a lawyer. We already have a phone. We
got a phone.
or an alarm for our building, whatever it is. We need a lawyer. We need a lawyer that will work the exoneration pro bono.
We need an appeals attorney.
Be able to take on the civil case and get a good payout as a result.
That would take it as a
on that. We're doing a 2-for-1. So if anyone in Iowa,
you hear that? Hey, Iowa,
wants to join forces with me and help free Joe, I promise I'll shut the bird up next time.
I mean, Jesus, we're gonna have to mute you.
You know what? I'll have to. I can't do it on.
Can't you just feed the bird some DNA?
No, I haven't done anything. He's just dancing in his cage.
Listen, it was my dog last time. So.
Oh yeah, it was. People are like, "Oh my God, she's beating that dog." I'm like, she's laying with the dog. She's like
something funny though.
A husky puppy. She's crazy. I love her to pieces, but she's so noisy.
Hey, if you guys want to write in, I will do some questions from the audience. as long as they're appropriate. And if she can't answer, she'll
Oh,
say
do we get to answer them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fun.
So
That's
you guys
like
can ask whatever question you
homophobic,
want.
like,
I'll put it up on the
is that your
screen.
dad?
You can just put the person's name and then just do like at Gabby or at Lana or at Cindy, and then I'll highlight it, so also, hey, if there's truly anybody out there that knows somebody in Iowa, it's not about sometimes who you know, it's about who you blow. So
Jesus Christ, I don't want another scandal on my hands.
I'm not saying that for any of us out there. You never know what
Hi,
they're
Joe.
doing.
I was on a show last night and I found you a good lawyer and she blows. So you get a 2-for-1. That is terrible.
What is it? Do you know if you blow?
You know what?
Love it all.
Love it.
At Gabby.
I'm just telling you, you guys, like, this is going to be an interview for me that goes down in history because and I'm totally copyright striking any of you motherfuckers that use it. This is me. This is who I am on a day to day, which is I'm not like the other genealogists in this field, most of which who are old crotchety women. This is who I am. Like,
you guys, this is the blooper reels right here. Okay.
I am who I am. I am real. People in my family, my friends, they know this is the real me. And I feel so comfortable because in interviews, usually I'm, have to dress all professional and speak.
Are you trying to say I'm not professional, Gabby?
No.
That doesn't mean I'm not good.
No.
Listen, you dressed the same way for me, and I loved it.
I love it.
I had a little bit. I mean, I didn't have so much.
If I gotta dress it up, I can. I just don't feel like it's necessary. I'm in my fucking house. I think COVID was the problem, though. You just have to wear like nice tops during COVID, and nobody could see anything. So, like,
until you get up to step on your bird, and then you're like naked from the bum down.
Oh Lord, jeez. Here you go, right there. At Gabby, what is contact or transfer DNA compared to regular DNA? Do you know?
What is? I would say that she's maybe talking about touch DNA.
Okay. So
so touch DNA, regular DNA is going to come from some sort of bodily fluid or orifice, even if it's like a bone or whatever, semen, saliva, tissue, blood. Touch DNA is going to come from the like microbes on your hand. Like, so when you take a fingerprint, when you do your fingerprints, it's the impression that they're looking at. Okay. So they compare, how does it look and all the ridges and marks and whatnot. But with touch DNA, it's using basically the oils on your hand and your fingers. It's not using, like, that's not considered really a bodily fluid. So that's why they call it touch DNA. I have yet to work a case with touch DNA, so I do not know the specific requirements of how many cells or how. I do know that as time goes on, it does, degrade more rapidly. And I also know that depending on what it is, there can be cause for whether or not it is legitimately because the person was involved in the crime and this was their weapon, or because they went to a surplus store and happened to pick this up and look at it.
Somebody wants to know, Marie says, at Gabby, can your new mission statement be, if you don't spit, I can't acquit?
Oh my God. I'm going to tell Marie, I'm going to fucking pay you for rights to that. I want to know all of the things that you guys can come up with that are just that hilarious. That is like,
I'm trying to find the good ones.
That's
oh, here's a good question for you. At Gabby, nobody cares about us, Cindy, by the way.
I know, right?
We're just here for moral support.
Well, Sydney got 2 hours the other night, and you guys killed it. Let me tell you.
Thank you.
Let me tell you.
I was just trying to give people foreplay for your show here. Okay. At Gabby, can illnesses and many blood transfers affect the DNA of a person? It's a good question.
I am not a doctor, and so I do not have so much knowledge in that. Hey,
that's
but
That's a really good question.
I have heard that if you get things like bone marrow transplants or organ transplants, stuff like that, yes, it can affect it, from what I have been told.
At Gabby, what are your top 3 tips for finding missing links in family trees using DNA results?
Missing links, not sure what you mean. If you're you're hitting brick walls and you can't figure things out, I have a slew of tips, so feel free to, I don't know how you would, but reach out to me. My email is gvargas.
Don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud. I'll help you with that.
Oh.
I don't want you to get spammed with like nudity.
Oh, but that would be fun.
Okay, then you spray it, baby. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let that person know.
I can
contact me, and I can. It depends on what it is they're stuck on.
We cannot just let any stalker stalk us. Okay.
We're the stalkers.
Why not?
Stalkers.
Well, I will tell you, in the Idaho murder group that I then got fascinated with and like had to read everything. The funny thing is that they were arguing over my education. Like, she didn't even know when she graduated. Like, because I had 2 children. I put myself through college. I had lost a family member in that same year. Like, and things like that are not important, to me. Shut the motherfucker. And then look, this guy just showed up. This is my
oh my God, it is a zoo over there.
This is my fat cat.
What are all the names again? We're having a quiz at the end.
What's all the names of what?
All the animals.
Oh, well, I got my 2 tortoises, my iguana back there. I've got about 40 chickens outside. I had a peacock named Zazu. They all have Disney names outside. The chickens do. Dude.
Do you have do you have a pet keeper? Like, instead of like a housekeeper, you have a pet keeper?
Yeah, you're looking at her. I'm a pet keeper. I'm a chauffeur. I'm a maid. I'm a mom. I do it all. Hey, shut the fuck up. He's
God.
He does this when it's time to go to bed, and he's like, "Okay, God damn it, cover me and shut the lights."
Oh, cover.
And so because I'm in here, I didn't do that. So now he's being a jerk face. So I'm gonna turn the lights down a little bit. Anyways,
what was your cell service like out in Idaho?
Oh my God, I thought you were gonna ask me what my cell phone number was on live, and I'm like,
people can text you, right?
Well, actually, when I went to Idaho, I love the saying Idaho, Idaho. No, Idaho, Idaho. What?
Idaho, Idaho. No, Idaho.
I was literally in Idaho, and I'm like, went into a store, and I'm like, what are you guys like known for? And he looks at me, he's like, potatoes, and I'm like, oh yeah. So
Idaho, gem state.
I know. I was kind of last minute with it was last minute that I was going, and so I flew into Spokane?
Yeah.
I don't know, Spokane. And I drove to Idaho. And I will tell you that not one place until I got to my hotel did I have cell service.
It was that bad.
And I have T-Mobile, and they're supposed to have the best coverage. So just
like
saying.
T-Mobile, okay.
I had not one. It was like you cannot make one call, one text, one anything. I had no service.
I was wondering why you weren't calling me while you were out there. I was really kind of confused.
Know you then.
I was totally kind of confused, So Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, what kind of car did you have for as a rental car? Did you get a
Do you
rental
want to
car,
know
or
the
did
truth? Are you
they
gonna
drive you
laugh?
around?
Are you gonna laugh at me?
I'm just curious. These are the
Okay.
kind of questions I ask.
I requested a cheap $20 car because I'm like, who am I trying to impress? Right? I'm in Idaho. Okay. They upgraded me for free. They were like, we don't have any cheap ones. So here, you get a Dodge Challenger. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I do.
That's what I drive. I drive a Challenger.
Well, but here was the problem. And I shit you not. This actually happened. She tells me, oh, it's in row, whatever. I go out to the car and the car is bright orange.
So it was a Hyundai Elantra?
No, bitch, it was a fucking Dodge Challenger.
I was just making sure.
It was a bright orange one. So I went back into the airport and I said, is the gray one in the next stall, is that available? And she's like, yeah, why? I go, because that orange is not going to look good with my pink hair. And I legit made her change mine to the gray Dodge Challenger.
Wait, she literally gave you the brightest orange car. Like, here, just go stick out in Moscow.
I'm like,
look, the orange
you really want to put a target on my back, don't you?
I can't. Okay,
No.
wow. Okay, so that's good. I'm just glad
I couldn't do it. I will tell you this, driving there, there's a whole lot of fucking nothing.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of nothing. But it was cool that there was a whole lot of nothing because I was in a Dodge Challenger and I fucking took those streets like I was in fucking Grand Theft Auto, like
You put in sport mode?
cutting corners and shit.
Did you put in sport mode?
I don't even know what that is, but it was going so fast. It was in some kind of mode.
I drive in sport mode. It's fun.
What does that do?
Yeah.
It's just the pickup is amazing. The sound's amazing. The speed's amazing.
Oh,
It's hot.
you're getting me. Now you're getting me like thinking maybe do I need to turn in the mom car? I have an SUV. I don't have a minivan.
Oh, thank God.
But I've been debating like, should I get a new car? What do I want to get? I do woodworking, so I buy a lot of wood, and I work with wood all the time. Well, that didn't really sound.
That totally was a great sentence right there. Oh God.
I want to just answer somebody had asked me about my book if if I would put it on I guess Audibles, and I have to figure out how to do that. So that's kind of in the works, but
will you figure out after you figure that out, maybe you could figure out how to send me the copy you promised me back in
Oh my God, I never sent you my book.
Wait, where's my signed copy?
I never sent you.
When I heard that, when I heard that I'm going to send you a signed copy, and I'm like, fucking really? Where the fuck's my signed copy?
Girl, you're okay. Tonight.
We're going to totally stalk her now. You guys, you go right. I think you go right on Amazon, right?
Amazon, yes. The funny thing is I just went back to my natural color, so there's no excuse anymore. I was blonde.
Wait, I was just gonna say that last couple days ago you had way lighter hair.
Yes, I went natural because it's been killing my hair, and so
how long does it take for you to blow dry your hair?
I know, right? I am a high maintenance chick over here.
Oh my God.
Like 45 minutes, 30 minutes. Do you go like in?
It's a long time to get this.
Put a bun up. This part first.
It takes you how long to do your hair?
Okay, so I have extensions. I say it like I put it all out
like
there.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, I got extensions, and I'll tell you, they're not cheap.
I was gonna say they have to be at least a couple grand.
It's like $5,000
a month.
I'm broke. I'm spending all my money.
month.
Yeah, no. It's like every 4 to 5 months. I'm spending all my money on my hair. It's ridiculous. But the reason, I'll tell you why.
What benefit? I mean, do you get more ass with that? Like,
no.
Yep. That's at CrimeCon.
No,
she thought she was going to CrimeCon this weekend.
Some bimbo fry off all my hair. she like it was a refer. I went to her because a friend recommended her to get highlights, and because mine hurt her shoulder, couldn't do it. So last year, and this bimbo, call her a bitch, she literally fried off all my hair. She had bloody sores throughout my
Okay. I haven't had dinner yet.
Everything. Wait, you deal with like blood and semen.
I don't touch it.
Oh, God.
I just analyze the data behind it.
Jeez.
So until my hair grows out, I have to wear these. Because listen, I'm a cancer survivor. I didn't even I lost my breasts, not my hair. So
you can have some of mine.
You know? So what's that?
I said you can have some of mine.
Oh, some of your hair or your breasts?
My breasts.
Your breasts. Let me tell you, I had amazing breasts before, but but I didn't lose my hair. And then I go and I lose my hair to some bimbo who doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. So yeah, that's why.
Did you sue her? Did you sue her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I go after my own heart. Just sue everybody.
Personal fucking injury, you know? No, if you saw what my scalp looked like and my head looked like, awful. It was like burnt.
I can't do it.
That's dangerous.
I cannot sit. I am not I'm not a girly girl. Like I do my hair myself. Getting a manicure and a pedicure for me constitutes like taking the dry skin away. I do not go and pamper myself. Like I ain't got time for that shit.
Do you have a pool boy?
I have a pool man who is not
Julio.
What?
Is his name Julio? What's his name?
Miguel.
Oh, even better. Miguel, get over here.
Miguel.
Meow.
I will tell you, if you come to my
me
house,
and Cindy were coming there.
Yeah.
If you come to my house on any given day, you will find me covered in dirt and sawdust and paint, and like I remodeled my house. Like I didn't hire anyone, so I'm doing it all myself. And I freaking just do shit every day. Like I can't spend time getting my nails done.
Well, Cindy,
plus I can't sit for that fucking long.
Oh, I
know. When some of my black friends go get their hair done, I'm like, you just sat there and got braids done for like 12 hours.
Okay, but there's a difference. And I'm gonna tell you the difference. And they can call me racist if they want. If you haven't already realized, like I didn't come from an upper class neighborhood when I was growing up. Okay, let me tell you, going to get my feet and my nails done, I have to listen to someone in another language pretty much talk shit about me. Okay. If I go you go to get your hair done, you're mostly Caucasian, at least around here. And I got to listen to Betty gossiping about Barbara and how her dog pooped on her lawn. And I ain't got time for that shit either. But even though black braids would take 10 or 15 hours, it would be a fucking comedy show the entire time, and I will be front and center, because that's like going into a barber shop. Like I will take my kid to a black barber shop before I take him to a fucking white barber shop just for the entertainment. I'm just saying.
There you go. Everybody's agreeing with you. I totally agree. I just don't know how people sit in a chair for 10 hours.
I wouldn't want to be the one getting my braids done because I'd have sores on my ass when I was done.
Oh, you just want to be the person there just recording?
No, I just want to be.
This takes all day.
So you want our next show to be in a barbershop?
It takes 2 days
to do
2 days every time to remove them all and then to put them all back in.
Are they sewed in or
they're like bonded in? So like they wrap it around.
Let me tell you this. Let me listen to me wisely. Okay. You are unbelievable, and you need to give the fucking horse's hair back. Okay.
No, this is hair from
India. She's unbelievable.
That was cute. But it's Indian hair. It's soft. Oh my god.
Indian hair.
Wait, so how long would say it takes to
like an Indian horse or like an Indian person?
Okay.
Hold on. Go back to the Indian. It's the Indian.
Like Pocahontas.
Oh no, it's from India.
Oh, it's
from India's what? From a donkey? From a
No,
person?
so from people. So they grow the hair out there. They have the most beautiful hair, supposedly, and then they.
But
so how did you get it that color? Last time it wasn't that color.
Supposedly says that was the most beautiful hair.
Hair dye.
Okay.
Okay.
So you know what? Hold on, I got to tell you something. I thought about, God forbid, because I do think about DNA a lot, just random thoughts all the time. And I thought to myself, which is like, I'm not, anyways. So this, like, God forbid something happened to me. The DNA from the extensions, right, is not me.
Oh my God, yes.
Right?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Isn't that
like? But you know what? You need to go do some drug crimes. And then when they test you, they're like, ma'am, you will be tested every week by the hair. And you're like, bring it, bitches.
Right.
You can be high right there in front of the judge, smoking a blunt like, you passing. Oh,
I just have my new job at Target. Oh, I swear we were just getting high yesterday. Oh, does it matter? All my this is weed. This is.
Hell no. I'd be like, this is my shit. Don't say no weave.
Don't worry. Next live, we're gonna teach you guys how to get away with crimes over here.
Right. Someone says I'm gonna get it.
I gotta wait. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell. Don't report me to the FBI. Wink, wink. Let me tell you this. If you bury a body, you want to plant on top of it an endangered plant, so it's illegal to dig it up. You can follow me for more gardening tips. I've got a whole bunch.
What about if you rob a bank? You could bury the money under there too.
Yeah, but half the time people don't remember where the fuck they buried it,
unless it's an endangered, plant.
Well, then
you can't dig up the endangered plant.
The fuck I can. If it's in my garden, my property, I can do what the fuck I want to do.
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
Gabby's How to Get Away with Murder over here. New segment, new show, just hitting ABC.
Like if you thought you know what's so funny? If you think about people like who commit crime and they leave, the ones that think they are like really smart, like they read like How to Get Away with Murder for Dummies book. Those people, like it's the stupidest, smallest thing that gets them caught, right? Mm-hmm. There was a case where a guy shaved his entire body. His entire body, so he didn't leave any hair behind. But then the motherfucker goes and opens the door with his hand with no glove. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? You got to cover all your bases, bro.
Oh shit! The smartest, dumbest motherfuckers out there. Come on.
Yeah, dumbest criminals. Dumbest criminals. Well, I don't know, but that shit, it kills me. It kills me. Some people, they are dumb criminals.
Well, I gotta say that I think I just probably broke the internet tonight having this live, showcasing the many skills of Miss Vargas and her.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I am. You
ready to do some cases together?
I can fucking do anything. You know what? My cousin said.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
You're killing me. Her. The first time I said that I was Google certified was when my cousin's Rottweiler was having pups, and my cousin was the first time, and she's like freaking out, like I don't know what to do. Are they gonna come? Are they not gonna come? And so I literally like read it online, and I'm like, okay, I'm Google certified, and I legit like they weren't coming, and I'm like, it's taking too long. But she didn't want to like go get a C-section, so I'm like, I can do this shit, and I fucking fisted the fucking dog. Like they had birth. They had birth.
Oh my god!
She was pregnant, and she couldn't get the puppy to come out.
You gave birth. You helped give birth.
Well, I have given birth 4 times myself. Not to Rottweiler puppies though. But no, I put my whole hand up there to see like what's going on. Why is this taking so long? And come to find out, one was turned, like one was breached, and I didn't want to, you know, I'm not a surgeon.
Did she name one of the puppies after you?
No. Why?
Well,
no.
That's some bullshit. Total bullshit.
No, but my brother,
Not a middle name, nothing?
did get
They name it IGG.
No.
You know what IGG? Yeah, you know me.
No, let me tell you. My dog's names were Yoda, Kylo Ren, and Chewbacca, and Leia.
What's Leia after, like Princess Leia?
Yeah.
That's my middle name.
Well, and
that's your middle name? Princess Leia.
Cindy Leia.
My tortoise, Master Oogway.
I got it. They're going to say something else. Master Oogway?
Yeah, from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, wow.
My iguana, Midori.
Midori. What's that after? My favorite drink in college.
Amazing liqueur that you can have a billion of and still be sober.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah.
Said, I saw something recently where, what was it like? I think it was like Will Ferrell, and he's doing this thing, whatever. I don't know. I could be making this up. I could have heard it. I found it on TikTok. And I could be getting stories mixed up.
I could totally just be lying to you guys about everything I'm saying tonight.
It was like a dog or something, and somebody's like, "Oh, what's the name?" And out of nowhere, he goes, "Cilantro," and I could not stop laughing. I'm like, can you imagine you name your freaking dog? Come here, Cilantro.
I call him Tro. Cilantro. Come over here, Tro.
You guys, I needed this. It's been a rough month for me, and
aw.
So I really appreciate you, you know, having me on, and
I appreciate you stalking me.
Stalking me is a little weird, but I'll give you a pass, since you know it turned out to be worth it in the end.
Wait a second, my viewership's gonna think
I'll leave the money on the counter.
God, jeez. Well, you guys were awesome in chat again. Gabby, is there any way not to get DNA on things? Last question.
Yeah, don't go into the area. and you know what? I'm serious, because you don't realize my hair. I go into my friend's car and it's covered in my hair, and I'm like picking it up because he could like frame me, right? You shed
the murder mobile.
You shed so, and it does not. So I want to say a couple things. One, it does not mean that you're going to be, you know, accused of a crime. More importantly, what I want to say is, I know that a lot of people are skeptical and scared now about putting their DNA or testing or whatever. But I want you to know that the work that I do is because of you guys. It's because your DNA is in there that I'm able to solve these cases and you know, identify victims of violent crime and put ones that are criminals away. And so I really want people to not be feared by the work that we do. It is not law enforcement for the most part that does these cases. It's people just like me. In all of my cases, I have never once had a detective say, give me the kit number, give me the login, let me see the family tree. They have a right to it, but it's never happened in any of my cases. So
I want to ask you something. Do you remember in the interview that we had, when I asked you, you know, are you afraid? Are you afraid of, you know, because here you are in, you know, I mean, discovering the truth. And are you afraid of the repercussions? And what did you say?
Hell no.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
I mean, look, I like I said, I am not like the other people in this field who have a different life than me. Okay. I mean, I come from foster care. I come from abuse. I come from the streets. I was in a gang, for all of you. You see, I have a very hood way about me when in my normal state. Now go watch an interview and I'm like, and then they took the DNA and took it to the lab and precisely 4 o'clock, it's like a totally different me. But the reality is I'm doing good work and I am helping families get closure and victims get justice. And there are so many other ways that people can find you and where you live on the internet. What am I going to be afraid of? I'm doing the right thing. Exactly. Right. And I'm not afraid to, testify or anything. I am very confident in my skill. And I just don't like how this industry is very much high school mean girl. You can't sit with us. And my response to that,
sit on my lap.
Well, my response when I was, in high school was like, oh, really, bitch? Like,
yeah, I'll just take the whole damn table.
Like, how about I just punch you in the face with a fucking fork in your eyeball? How about that? So I think I guess my attitude is different, but I have been in scary situations. Having the FBI come to your home when your children, my 6-year-old daughter, my 11-year-old son, and my 24-year-old daughter, and the neighbor friends that were about 8 years old, that was a scary situation for me. And so I'm not afraid of a killer trying to send someone to fuck with me, right? I'm more afraid of the shady people in this line of work who want to take people like me down because I am diverse and I don't follow social norms. I do what the right thing is and what I believe the right thing is. And
you're a strong woman. You're a strong woman.
You when you have a life like me, you have to be, and I will say this too. There are some people that want the media attention. I didn't want to be on 48 Hours. I did not. I turned it down initially. It was Roxanne Wood's family that encouraged me to go on. So it's things like that. I would rather stay in the background and be humble because I don't need anyone to tell me we're proud of you, you're doing a good job, and let the media get, pictures of me like I'm a fucking celebrity. I'm not. I'm just a fucking gangster turned genealogist who grew up in the Bay Area and now lives in fucking farm town country. And I love my life and I'm happy. And, I love that I was able to share like the real Gabriella Vargas, and just so you all know, I did graduate college and I can show my degree if anyone would like to see it.
And you went into criminology, right?
Yeah, my background is actually in criminology, but I'm kind of like a Jane of all trades. Like on Saturdays, I'm like right now, today, I'm building a custom iguana cage for Mr. Midori. I'm always doing something. I'm always working on something, I grew up where my mother was very codependent on my father, and like she couldn't even change her own light bulb, right? And I said, if I do nothing more in my life, I will learn to be independent. And so now it's kind of, funny because I'll go to like Home Depot and I've got like fucking 7 things, 2x4s. And the guy's like, let me help you, ma'am. And I'm like, I don't need your fucking help. What? Just because you're a guy, you think I can't do it? Look at me. You want to watch me? Like now I like challenge them. But you know what? It's awesome because I've raised 4 kids that are very independent and they can do everything. And they got it from me, So.
I gotta tell you, even though I'm a girly girl, I'm a badass biker bitch. I ride a Harley.
Fuck yeah.
I know. And can I tell you this? That fucking
With the dress on.
That turns me on. That because I know you're like a girly girl, like me. So today I got flowers delivered to me unexpectedly. I was so, like, people don't do nice things like that for me. So I was so just like, my heart was just so happy that someone thought of me. And so then I was talking later on and I said, but if someone were to give me like a pair of Prada sunglasses, I would be like, bitch, go return that. I shop at Ross, like I'm a Target girl. I don't think
Maxx,
everything I have is name brand. Nothing, I don't think.
I just got a pair. Oh, good. And I'll tell you what
I do.
Your name is name brand.
I have a pair of Oakleys.
There you go.
But my dad got them free at the casino for gambling. So,
I just got a pair of hot pink. Again, pink is my color, of course, breast cancer, but hot pink Versace sunglasses. And I didn't buy them. A friend of mine bought them. I was like, these are so hot.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to be that friend. If I see the Versace at Ross on discount for $7.99, I'll fucking buy them for you.
Listen, I'll buy anything. I'll go to the dollar store. I don't care. But these, I had to have a hot pink Versace sunglasses. Come on. Fun. I'll be posting pictures soon.
You guys are both great. Like I said, when I saw your guys'
my wardrobe in the summer consists of booty shorts and tank tops, and in the winter it's flannels, tank tops, and leggings.
Yes.
Who wants to take me on a date?
Well, probably like 1,400, 1,500 people maybe. Again, you guys are awesome. Any last questions? Do you guys have any questions for the audience? You just did say you didn't want to go on 48 hours. Did you want to come on this channel?
I get nervous, period. Especially when it's like a show that's like the news or something. But when I saw, the show that I saw where you were talking about me, you were just talking to yourself. I think, like, not in that way, but like you didn't have a guest. So the next one I saw was with Cindy, and I'm like, oh my God, she just said fuck. And like, I'm like, where do I sign up? Like,
yes.
If you'd like to be on our show or in the audience, call this toll-free number. I was looking for it. Because I'm like, I could just like, on Cindy's show, I could be myself, except for because hers is like officially a talk show. I felt like if Oprah's watching or Dr. Phil was watching, like I didn't want,
Oh no, but you could have said. Oh, we had to bleep things out, but I said fuck all the time.
Oh my God.
I cuss myself out all the time.
I loved it. I loved it. No,
and for the record, I talk to these people, man. Come on.
I was a little nervous. Like, what do I wear? Do I look professional? Do I look casual? It's fucking, do I want my hair up? Do I want it down? And then I'm like, it's Friday night. Like, you're on my time right now. So I'm going to be me.
You're damn right.
You know what? I feel like I've just talked so much tonight.
That was the whole point. Trust me, they get bored of my shit. They're like, Lana.
Okay, well, at least you're not like, okay, your audience isn't saying she can shut the fuck up now.
No, they're over here like, when's she on next? Lana, how are you gonna talk?
We should do Friday night fun, or Friday night fucks.
Oh,
love it.
Friday
night fucks.
Fuck around Fridays,
dude.
No, I'm gonna say something. I want to thank. I'm not very good at YouTube yet. So I don't know how to respond properly to people, but I want to say thank you so much for the kind comments and remarks that everybody's been making. So I want to just personally thank you. I just don't know how to do it all yet, how to respond so quickly.
And Cindy, I want to say to you, I have no fucking idea how you found me. You actually found me on TikTok. And here's the funny thing. At the time that you found me, I had no viewers, no content, because I only go on there to watch other people being stupid. And you found me on TikTok. And so then it was funny because after I aired or I put the link, however you do it, if you look on my TikTok feed, it's like the thing to your show. And then it's like my dog getting in the pantry and making a mess with sugar all over the kitchen with that background. Oh no. So, but I kept getting all of these followers. And I said to my daughter, who's 24, I go, what does this mean? All these people keep saying they're following me. Why are they following me? She goes, well, you do that when you like put out good content, like people follow you. And I go, I don't have anything on there. What are they following?
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to take this whole live and I'm going to cut up your best like lines and I'll make like a blooper.
Can we do the bloopers?
Yes, we are. I feel like this live is a blooper reel.
I love it.
You know.
Well, listen, I stalked you also. You know, when I'm determined.
Wait, you stalked me?
I stalked you. Yeah.
People are stalking me.
You were so
stalking
fine. You know, and all of the guests that I've had on my show, listen, I reach out and they say yes. You know, I find them and they typically said yes. So, but you were easy to find.
Kind of like your sex life. Everybody says yes.
Wait, not in mine.
I'm the fuck lady. Remember? Chapter fucking 1, chapter fucking 2.
Okay. It's like, I have too many comebacks for that, so I'm just gonna zip it and leave it right there.
Jeez, this is great. I love it.
Well, all right. I mean, well, let me know when you'd like to see me again. This was awesome. I had a great time, and I have so many.
I really want to do. I really want to try like an what do you call it? Like an experiment. Where I just want to see if we could do it. Like take one of these random people and let's see if we could like find out who they are. I just want to see if we could do it and be like, listen, we got the sub. Her name is Good Vibes. We got you. We found you.
Okay, so here.
How would we do that?
Good Vibes just said.
Like I want them to. Like, I want someone to like to be like, okay, I'll be like the guinea pig to try.
You want them to be the test dummy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we would have to do it strategically. So I could give you some pointers, and then you could put it out there, and then like you would be the only person who knew who it was, right? And then we'll try to get Cindy to solve it.
Okay.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
Or we can have Cindy try to solve it with me teaching her how to do it.
Yes.
Or
Cindy can be the person that knows about it, and I'll help you solve it.
Yeah. And
Cindy wants to be the secret
no,
keeper.
You're not fucking doing it right.
I dress up in a lab coat and everything, and kind of like a hot little, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna dress the part, you know.
Thank you. But I think that'd be something fun. Like it's like a Friday night game night. You would have Friday night game night, but like in a podcast form, be like, we need to figure out what fucking member put their DNA in there.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me.
You know, and just have our one-liners all night and be like, okay, we got her. Okay, no, we probably don't. Oh my God, maybe it's a guy. My guy to girl ratio is 80-20, which is like way higher than like most women on here. It's like 95-5. So I like give it up to all my guys out there. I have guys watching me.
That's
I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I never like, I guess true crime is not like guys don't follow it, but I got 20% of my viewers are guys. So
maybe not after tonight. Maybe that might rise.
Oh, I mean, now that I have Cindy on the show, fuck Cindy.
What the fuck? What am I, chopped liver?
Cindy just sits back there like, yeah, fuck.
Hey, you know what? Any of you other podcasters would like to have me as your representative, since Cindy has already been appointed on this one. You're killing me.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I just love you
It
too.
just sits there, you know. Okay, well, sweetness. I just want to also say thank you to the members. Thank you to the moderators. They have a tough job making sure people don't get crazy in chat. Again, at the end of this, hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. You have an opinion. I don't ever tell people to like my videos.
Fuck
You do
that.
what you
They better
want.
like this shit. They better fucking subscribe. Because if they don't like and they don't subscribe, then they don't get to see more.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I was going to join, but it said I had to pay a fee, and I was like, fuck that.
She's like, I was gonna. Did you just? It subscribes for free, girl. It's free to
Oh,
be
I subscribed, but then it had a button that said join.
Oh, Joe says join.
You can join for $10.99, and I'm like
$10.99. No, it's like $1.99.
Well, look.
Oh, you were going to like tip.
Hulu, I got Netflix, I got
all that shit on the
Apple Music, I got Spotify. That's one more 99 I don't need.
All right, next guest. No, I'm kidding. No, thank you, ladies. Much love to both of you. Utmost respect. And I'm excited. I think that if we put our heads together, let's see if we can come up with something for Joe and not Idaho, but Iowa. And
yes.
You can just keep following my coverage on the IDAHO4 case. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. You guys are the best.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you, Cindy.
A lot of fun.
Bye.
I'm gonna end it. So there you guys go. Again, thank you so much. Truth and transparency. Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Tonight's live broadcast features one of the very best cold case investigators. Welcome to Truth and Transparency. We have a new case. I will look into it for numerous reasons, but it's very interesting to me that in 2015,